What is up, everybody? Cover 2 is finally back in your lives on this Monday evening, a glorious Monday evening, because the 49ers have played actual football that not only do the people in attendance at training camp and those that are covering the team get to watch, but you and I and everybody in between had a chance to see the 49ers for the first time in the 2025-2026 season. Coach, my man, how you been, brother?
Finally, the coach has come back. Dog, it has been a long time. Life has been lifing, but I am back. We are all back at the right time, dog. The boys are back playing. They tried to hide all off season, Jesse, didn't they? They thought they got away with it, but they didn't get away with it. We know what we saw. Finally, we got a chance to look at the new look 49ers. I'm pumped. I'm rejuvenated. I'm excited. Let's talk ball, dog. Let's talk Niners.
Well, let's peel back the curtain for a second before we get into it, because you and I had this conversation earlier, right? Last time we tried to go about a week ago, we had some technical difficulties. We're unable to make it happen. So we wanted to make sure that, all right, let's test this time, make sure we're good. But in between that, you talked about being reinvigorated, ready for the season, almost as if like, man, should we be worried that we're not excited for the season yet? And you know what it is, Coach? It's the fact that we weren't at training camp. Training camp is the tone setter for the excitement of the season when you are in watching training camp, like you're full in it. But the fact that we didn't go this year, we had to wait until the preseason to get that excitement. So it's good that it's back. It's just a little different this year, you know?
We were mere mortals this year. We were mere mortals. We had to sit back and wait with everybody else. And it was good. You know what? I liked it. I had tons of things to do. And you know, good on the Niners. I get it. A lot of young players, a lot of transition. Guys are going to be filling in for roles that they traditionally wouldn't be filling in for. I mean, by and large, coming into this year's season, Kyle has all but said it himself. They're all but tearing away from their mode of what they usually have to do. They're playing young guys this year. They have to. So they were a little close to the vest. All right, we get it, you know, but you gotta play sometime. And I like that we're in this stage of the offseason. We're moving into not Oakland, but Las Vegas week with the Raiders. We also have another practice coming up with them. We have injuries galore. I'm just excited for the season. It's time. There's a lot to talk about. And I think that this break that we've all had has served us well because we actually have something to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. Completely agree. Let me hit these super chats real quick. Dangerous Dave. What's up, Dave? He says, can't wait to get down there. Can't thank you enough. Hey, anytime, brother. I got you. And then Nicodemus says, let's talk Sebastian Valdez. I didn't have him on the docket, but we can talk Sebastian Valdez if you want. But let's talk about first of all, thank you for being a member, Nicodemus. But let's talk about some of the things that were on the docket. And you know us, it's going to be pretty free flowing. We're just going to run through some things. And the preseason game, it is not fully telling on what to expect. It's a little bit different because a lot of the starters didn't play. Some did kind of ish sparingly. So with that being said, what stood out to you in this game that you want to really discuss tonight?
We're not going to bury the lead here. The defense. The defense looked completely different. I mean, come on. We can't bury the lead. We could talk about so many different things that happened in this game, individual guys. But if you just want to take away like the biggest takeaway, we blitz. We actually looked diverse. We actually showed pressures. We didn't just sit back with a normal front four. We weren't vanilla. We disguised. Guys were invigorated. Salah was back. His head was bald. It was awesome. It was everything you wanted it to be. I mean, he gave you, I mean, it was just, not only was it good to see the defense and the young guys flying around, but it was awesome for everybody to just be reinvigorated with a defense that you know is not just going to sit back. Secondly, I think that this is going to be something that I know that everybody kind of saw, but they didn't necessarily want to point it out. I was excited for special teams. I mean, did we just have a special teams, a punt return that lasted more than 5 yards? I mean, my God, this kid Bergen has juice. I like what we seemingly have put together with special teams. The overall special teams seem to be something that was a plus for us. So I liked that. That was my second call out. And third is that we have depth issues, particularly at swing tackle on the offensive line. It wasn't a good day for the offense overall. I mean, there were some bright spots. Corey Kiner is somebody that I obviously fell in love with. I liked the day that he was having. We already saw what Jordan Watkins had did for us. I mean, that proved out to be a little short-lived with the high ankle sprain that we just found out about from him today. But just overall, it was just an underwhelming performance from the offense overall. They didn't move the ball particularly well outside of that 50-yard throw in that entire drive by Mac Jones. I'm not particularly, like we mentioned before, happy with the lack of depth, it seems, at the offensive line. And I mean, and just, you know, just a little caveat for all of this. I'll just close it out with this. What are we doing with Carter Bradley? I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing? What is this? Come on. So
he's not even good enough. Jesse. He's not even good enough to be another Mordecai.
Come on, he's just not a Mordecai. And then we let go of Tanner today. We waived him. So those are kind of like my three biggest things. Defense overall, offense underwhelming, and special teams. So those were the three for me.
Yeah, I mean, let's go one by one for a second. So let's start with the positive, which is, well, one of the positives. I think there's a lot, actually, I think there's a lot of positives, but one of the positives, which was the defense. What, I mean, I didn't expect that. One thing that we have to put into context is this was the 49ers' second team, essentially, going up against the Broncos' first team on both sides of the ball. So whether you want to say it was good or you want to say it was bad, it doesn't really matter because there is context involved in there. But however, going with the good side, the fact that that defense held up against the first team offense of the Broncos, that's pretty damn impressive. And there was multiple guys that stood out. You know, I gotta say, going into training camp, I was worried about the secondary as a whole. I really was. But every report that we've gotten about Upton Stout and how he's coming on and becoming a good player, we already knew Lenore was that dude. Green, we expect to be that dude, but he's been out. And now you actually get to see some of it play out with none of those guys on the field, by the way, and they were still able to hold up. That corner room might be pretty damn good. You had guys like Chase Lucas out there and all, you know, all these
Tatum
other
Bethune
ancillary pieces.
Around. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but linebacker wise, yes. We'll talk about him too. But just secondary wise, it was incredible watching them break up pass after pass down the field when you have a starting quarterback with a starting offensive line and his starting receivers out there. They were trying to come out and kind of show the 49ers up. You could tell it was like, oh, we're going to come in here. We're going to score a couple touchdowns. We're going to get our first team out of here. And but it didn't happen that way because the 49ers held up all the way through. That was super impressive for me.
Look, man, I love just the cohesiveness that the defense seemed to be playing with. You know what? You know, just the overall sentiment that I got from the defense is self-awareness and urgency. They know that they know that they're not the 2019. They know that they're not the 2022 defense. You know what I mean? Like, they get it. They understand that they're undermanned and that they've all got a swarm and that it takes everybody playing to the echo of the whistle. That's what I saw. I mean, this was an inspired group. I mean, now, if we really want to get into it, we're particularly thin at defensive tackle. Now, I loved Sebastian Valdez. For me, was he jumped off the screen. I mean, and literally, he's just somebody that I feel like he's strong, plays with a flat back, has really strong hands. Things that I like about him is that he doesn't waste time. You know, he doesn't play with his food. He uses one move and he gets gone. As opposed to Alfred Collins, who doesn't necessarily have a rush plan past his first move. He gets absorbed by offensive linemen. I understand that his last technical, I guess, caveat is to throw his hands up and try to block passes with his height, but he's just way too high. Good offensive linemen are going to just move him around like a piano all game. So I wonder what we're going to do with those guys kind of taking the next step. CJ West has advertised. He almost doesn't look like a rookie. What did kind of come across where you did see a little bit of the youth was the game speed. You could see that these guys were geared up to have their first NFL action, and they were playing at a really high clip. But you saw near the end of the first half, guys were kind of getting down in their stance a little slower, had their hands on their hips. They looked a little tired. You could tell that the adrenaline had worn off, and it was like, Jesus Christ, we got 2 more quarters of this. It was like, yeah, you got to keep the intensity up. So another thing outside of the rookies, who is quietly taking another step for me that I really hope that he can keep consistency? Kalia Davis. Davis looked good. So we've got guys we haven't seen.
It's just about staying healthy for him, though.
Exactly.
Like that's the big. We've seen these flashes from Kalia Davis. We have. It's
yes.
not. I don't think that there's a talent issue there. He certainly can play in this league. He's got the frame to play in this league. Mm-hmm. It's just, can you stay healthy? Every time we get excited about Kalia Davis, like, he's hurt again. That sucks.
I understand, but it does look like he gotten a little bigger. Okay, so so for me, I like what we've done with what we have. Let me put it that way. I like what we've done with what we have. Also, we didn't see Malik Collins out there, so we didn't get to see him. We didn't get to see Mykel Williams. So with the defensive line, TBD.
Well, hold on. Malik Collins isn't on the team. Let's be good.
Not Malik Collins. What's my boy?
You're talking about
Jordan Elliott.
Now too.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Jordan Elliott.
And
Jordan Elliott.
Another one too. No. Who's the other guy that's hurt right now? Why am I drawing a blank on these guys?
Evan Anderson?
No. He's slotted to start. I'll figure it out. It's not that important right now. Either way, you're right. We didn't see everybody, but the guys that we did see are supposed to be the depth pieces in a lot of the cases. Obviously, the 49ers are going to have to rely on these young players in a big rotation.
Now,
one thing. Yeah, go ahead.
You know who was a little, I need more cowbell. All right. The illustrious Huff. I didn't see enough of Huff. I didn't like.
That's a good point.
I gotta be honest with you, man. I didn't.
Givens. Sorry, somebody pointed it out. Givens.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't see. Givens is kind of turning into a jag for me.
No, a jam.
Yeah. Well. If we don't get Mordecai back on the team, there's no more Mordecai, Jess.
Oh, dude, didn't he? Hold on, didn't he get signed? I thought he got re-signed.
He got waived today. Yeah, he got waived today.
Dude. What is the point? They brought him back and didn't. Okay, anyways.
You know what I think it is? I know. I understand why Mordecai is dispensable, because they feel confident in Mac, right? They've got Brock, and
as they should.
Right, and they've got the Bradley kid, right? So, but really, oh my God! But really, what they're waiting for is the Rourke kid from Indiana.
Say it. Maple Missile, the Maple Missile,
Maple Missile. It's the
if you're gonna address them, do it properly, please.
It's the Maplest of missiles. It's the Maple Missile. That's who they're waiting for. All right, so I mean, that's why I think that Tanner Mordecai is. He's expendable. I hate to say it.
I agree. He's just not a good player. I mean,
he's just not, bro.
He was great for the just another Mordecai thing, and that's why I want him around. It's selfish reasons, but it's not like he's a good player.
Right. Now, I have a question for you, though.
Okay.
Chase Lucas played out of his freaking gourd yesterday. Did he not?
So good. So
My
good.
God. Right?
Yeah.
But let me ask you this. Chase Lucas is no spring chicken. He's like 28, 29 years old.
No. He's only 26. He's only
26? All
Yeah.
right. How,
He was drafted in the 7th round by the 49ers in 2022, I think. Then I'm pretty sure this is his journey. He didn't make the team. He was on the Lions in 2022,
Detroit.
2023.
Yep.
Then he was on the practice squad last year for the 49ers. And again, he's trying to make the team with the 49ers. But dude, that
Is
kid
this our
balled.
fourth? We've got a huge conundrum at the third corner spot. Who's going to be that guy? All right. Look, okay. Theoretically,
Specifically
yes.
outside corner, right? You mean third outside corner?
Yes, third. Yeah. Theoretically, Renardo Green is supposed to be the guy. But how much can he couldn't even get, there's supposed to be like an allotted miles per hour that he's supposed to be able to get to that he couldn't even get to today when they tested him out. How much can we really depend on Renardo Green to be ready to play once he's healthy?
I mean, I don't know that you can depend on any second-year player that misses all of training camp to be that guy. I would like to. I mean, and this is the thing. This is the NFL. We see this all the time. You have guys like Renardo Green who flash, and then you have high expectations for them, and then some way, somehow, their career gets derailed. Now, I'm not trying to go that extreme necessarily based off of an injury that he should be ready to go by week 1, but he was also struggling at times in camp and in the offseason program, and then he finally had a great day, and then the same day he hurt his hamstring and has been out since. So it's like, there's no guarantee in this league. There's not. Lucas, though, has given me a lot of confidence. I mean, one thing I can say is when a player like Lucas kind of breaks out the way that he seemingly did in this game, and we'll see if it holds up. A guy that bounces around the league and kind of had to fight for every single roster spot that he got, there's something extra that they get and that they have that a lot of first round guys just don't. They're never forced to earn and chase. And so for him, he's had to do that. And so if he is given the opportunity, let's say Renardo Green is out for a few weeks this year, and Lucas makes this team, I will guarantee you he will play extremely well and make it really hard for the 49ers to just hand a job back to Renardo Green, who, quite frankly, wouldn't have necessarily earned it, but roster politics says he was a high pick, he should get it. I don't know that he would get that position back if that opportunity came for Lucas.
Dude, one thing that I noticed before camp started, before we went 0 dark 30, is that the Niners had like 10 to 12 corners starting into camp, right? And honestly, if you ask me, I still don't have trust in any of them outside of Deommodore Lenoir and now Upton Stout. Renardo Green is somebody who's got to get his act together, but a guy in Trey Brown, Jacob Robinson, who knows? Darrell Luter Jr., I'm tired of believing just to believe. I'm sorry. He just hasn't shown much. Even as a special teams guy, I think that Chase Lucas could be the third corner that we need. He could be that guy. Now, do you think that he's an outside guy or is he more of an inside guy?
I think he's an outside guy.
All right.
He plays with so much swag, bro. I don't know.
This year is going to be so interesting because everybody has to chip in. There's nobody that can just float. Didn't you get the impression that when we were really good, sometimes people used to make like comments or interview or kind of have the gravitas of like, I'm a guy, now I really know how to move. Like, you know what? This is the deal. This is the deal. remember when Jair Brown when Jair Brown got on the field and then he played, I think his first game was against Tampa. Then he played, he had
I
a
was there.
really
It was on.
yeah,
It was like the week of Thanksgiving. Yeah, I was there.
and then he had like this really good game against he had a really good Super Bowl game, right? Kind of played out of his mind. Then remember when we started camp last year and how he was talking like, yeah, things get different when you've actually been to the show, like when you've kind of like been to this level, and
Yeah.
the game is much slower for me now, and I'm ready. And it's just like, even then, you felt like, dude, this is borrowed legacy, dude. You got on like your Niner muscles right now. And I feel like there's a lot of guys on this team who have kind of rode off of the past success of the team and the organization. And this year, you're gonna get called out, buddy. Like if you're not actually chipping in and actually pushing for wins, I think it's gonna be very noticeable. Coaching all the way down. Everybody's got to chip in.
Yeah. Well, and you bring up Jair Brown, and the scenario you laid out is exactly what I'm worried about with Renardo Green. Like, did anybody think that we would be here with him at this moment? I mean, the rookie season he had, to your point, how well he played immediately, played in the Super Bowl. And then you remember camp, he was first guy out. He was beating Huff out there. That was like the big thing. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, every day, who's going to be out there first? Is it
Yeah.
going to be Huff or is it going to, And so now we're here with Jair Brown. It's like, I don't know that he's a starter in this league all of a sudden.
Nah, I don't think he's.
You
I don't
know?
think he's a starter on this team right now. And
I
because
know.
of that, we need to bring up Marquise Siegel, man. This little dude is balling.
He's
What do you
good.
think about Siegel, man?
He's good.
Playing outside of his frame, has a lot of speed, comes down into the box, is a willing contributor in the run, takes good angles. I just hope that he stays healthy because he isn't the biggest player, but I really
No.
like Marquise Siegel. Like for me, I know that safety, we talked about this through text. Safety and secondary, right? I would say secondary and receivers, pretty much our weakest groups right now. Would that be
Yeah.
an agreement? Okay.
Um, yeah, well, okay. I think
Maybe running
safety
back?
specifically, well, with injury and stuff, but
Yeah.
specifically safety. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So right now, for me, I'm not talking about like the best of the best, but the best for us. I wouldn't be mad week one, Pinnock and Siegel, man.
I wouldn't be mad at that either. I really I would I mean, it's not ideal, right? It's not but here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to be weak in one area of the defense, give me safety. It, like I don't want to be weak on defensive line. Linebacker, I guess, between safety and linebacker, but with two high safeties being the norm in the league right now, I have zero issue being quote unquote weak there if I'm strong at corner, if I've got a strong pass rush, because that pass rush can get home, that can save your bacon. The corners can cover longer if they're good players. Safety is like the least important defensive room, in my opinion. So I think if you're going to have an area where you're quote unquote weak and growing a little bit, give me safety. I'm like okay with that. You can't be perfect everywhere all the time. So yeah, I would be fine with that. And I am tripping, guys. Sorry. I apologize. Lucas is definitely a nickel. I don't know why I said outside. He's 100% a nickel. But
Mm-hmm.
that does complicate things with
Because two
Lucas.
inside guys.
Well, yeah, I mean, him and Upton Stout, and then it's like Lenore can play in or out. You almost would prefer that you had another outside guy that was breaking out because Lenore could always kick inside. But if Lenore goes down and you don't have, or Green goes down, Lenore can't play both outside spots. So this does kind of make it tough that Lucas is the one emerging because who is that other outside guy to your point? And that I don't know who that is.
They may go with Darrell Luter Jr. Honestly, you know what I'm saying. And also Trey Tomlinson is also somebody who's they may go with. But my thing is this: the reason why I like Pinnock and Siegel is I don't know what they're bad at yet, right? I don't know
Mm,
what they're bad at yet. I don't, right? But I know what they will do. They're very good in the run game, and you need safeties to be able to have contained in the run game, right? You need good safeties to be able to come up on the back so you don't get cutbacks in. I think that what I saw yesterday, obviously, come on, man, we're like starving right now, like
I know we
for
are.
anything. So one preseason game doesn't, write the whole story.
No,
But
of course.
these guys, they're not hoes, bro. They gonna step up in the run game, and I love that, right? And that was
Well,
our biggest problem on defense. We could not stop the
yes.
run, bro. It
Yeah.
was it was maddening.
No, it was, and that is one thing I wanted to point out tonight, and I'm glad that you just kind of jolted my memory, is at the very least, there is something to be said for this. Nobody looks like they don't belong physically. Like, when you see these guys in uniform against other players, there are times where it's like, "Man, that guy needs to put on 20," or "That guy needs to lose." I think Evan Anderson is a great example of that. Last year was like, we saw him in training camp. I was like, "Okay, he's big, but probably could lose a little, and just dial it back a little bit." Does he have his football body fully ready to go? I
Hmm.
don't see that with these guys. Like, yes, they have things to learn. None of them are perfect or finished products, but physically, all of them look like they belong now, which is important to me. It really is.
Yeah, I agree with that. I love how even guys that you were a little worried about, Upton Stout, I still have to see him on the field, but
Yeah, of
guys
course.
like Marquis Siegel, that was a conversation about his size,
Yeah,
whether or not he was going to translate. You saw guys that actually stepped their body up. I talked to you about, even though he already looked the part, he was already a veteran, but I got to say it again. Patrick Taylor Jr. got muscles on top of, but like, good Lord, Patrick Taylor Jr. looks good. You know what I'm saying? If we don't
yeah,
keep him in the run game, in the short run game, we got to. He's just one of those guys. He just got to be first off the bus. But getting back more on
yeah.
topic, man, as far as guys that looked the part, you saw that Tatum Bethune actually worked on his body. He's gotten bigger. Also Nick
He
Martin
looked
didn't.
good. Gosh, he looked good.
Yeah, Tatum Bethune looked good as hell. Also Nick Martin. We'll talk about him playing, but he didn't look too small. This is a guy that is coming in at like 220, 225, may at the max at linebacker, and he looked the part. So right now we look good as far as a team is concerned. I wouldn't say we necessarily look imposing. The defensive line, we finally have guys that are actually going to rush the passer, and I think that Coach Sala is the perfect guy for this bunch, right? He's going to add some teeth to the defense. I can't wait to see them all together. I can't wait to see it.
No, no, me neither. And one thing I will say is, like, of course, you can look at the box score,
Mhm.
but I feel like everybody flashed for at least a play.
Yeah,
Right? At least a play. You got something where it's like, "Ooh, okay, we got something here." And like the three-man rush when West just moved two people across the line so that Kalia Davis could loop around and get home was
that
like,
was sexy.
"Oh my gosh,
That was
dude, this
sexy.
dude is so strong.
That was
So
sexy.
strong." And we can talk about Alfred Collins. I get it. There's nothing there in the pass game. Grant's been talking about it all through camp. We saw that. However, he is immovable by the offensive line when it comes to the run game. He
Yeah.
doesn't move. He's just there taking up space. And so that is important. Like, that plays, especially when you're not a first round pick, because you always have to develop something as a rookie. You're never a finished product. But as a second round pick, it's like you know from second round on, you're not getting guys that are even close to polish. You got to work on
Contributors.
something. You got to make
Yeah.
something happen. But he's going to contribute right away in the run game.
Yeah.
He's he's big and immovable, and that plays in the league. It does.
Yeah. I'd love to see how what they're going to do to keep guys. We need D linemen. I love exactly what you said as far as guys that popped immediately. We're we're talking about CJ West and them playing
Mhm.
twist games and stunts with Kalia Davis. I love that. Sebastian Valdez. as soon as he got on the field, made use of himself, splitting defenders and getting on the backside on an outside run. I mean, I think that he's somebody that should make the team as well. I liked what I saw out of whatever. What's the other kid's name? Tall kid. Last name is like Anai. He like sprung, kind of timed the jump of the
Mm,
defensive line in the second half. Looked really good. I forgot his name. As a matter of fact, I can bring him up right now. Interior defenders. Got to be an edge then if he's not an interior defender. Edge. Bradley Anai.
okay.
Yeah, Bradley and I really like his get off. That was, I mean, if anybody remembers that play, that was something that immediately struck out to me, almost kind of blowing up the play, kind of mimicking the other guy that basically blew up an entire series for us for Denver, that defensive end who kind of like single-handedly just exposed Spencer Burford. So as far as the defensive line is concerned, we got a lot of guys coming back. We got a lot of starters that we haven't seen play. I'm encouraged. And maybe we need to temper our expectations because, you know, the defensive line was the squeaky wheel last year. Like they were bad, right?
They were
So
awful.
yeah, so just seeing them be able to just hold somebody to less than 200 yards rushing is something that, you know, maybe it's just we're kind of putting a little bit too much praise on them. But if we're just going to give more of a balanced take, it's a step in the good. It's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is. And it's like, I don't know. Sorry, I'm just not enthusiastic about Bradley and and not because you're right. That play was incredible. It's
That
just like,
was nice.
this guy's not making the team. I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to talk about this guy. I don't, it's not, you know what I mean? Cool. That's great. He flashed. He's not making the team. So it's just, it is what it is.
Okay.
But let's talk about something that wasn't necessarily positive. Well, we could talk about a positive and a negative with Bethune and Martin together if you would like,
Let's go.
because Tatum Bethune looked really, really good.
Man,
Really good. He
he
was
stepped his game up,
flying
boy.
all over the place, man.
Mm-hmm.
Martin looked lost and not good. And I will say this, two things. One, when you listen to the people that are at camp talk about it, Martin is almost never talked about, ever. And I've got a friend who has the practice film and has been watching it, literally asked me, "Hey, have you heard anything about Martin?" And I said, "Yeah, not really. I haven't heard, a lot of people bring him up or anything." And he's like, "I don't notice him on the practice film at all. Don't notice him at all on the practice film." So to then watch it play out in a game, and this is not, listen, he might be fine eventually. I don't know that he's going to contribute this year. I don't. And
Well,
and that is tough because my issue was they drafted him way too early. He would have been there a round or two later. He just would have been.
yeah, well, let's look at it this way. Let's go glass half full.
Okay.
Nick Merton was drafted in the vein of finding somebody who was going to be Sam linebacker who could be able to play into the gap, right? Play curl to flat, and be able to actually be a battering ram that takes pressure off of Fred Warner, a la Dre Green. Correct?
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's why we got him.
Yes.
Now, the reason why we went and got this guy is because I believe that there was an investment into thinking that this was somebody who was going to be a force contributor, that because he got hurt, a lot of people weren't necessarily looking at him, but if he was healthy, the position of where he got drafted would have played. Now, one thing that I don't think that we didn't account for is Tatum Bethune taking the next step. We didn't account for that, right? We also didn't account for D Winters taking another step, which I believe he has. I don't think that D Winters is just waiting because the spot is ready for him. I believe that D Winters has actually gotten better, right? There are guys that I believe weren't accounted for in the linebacker room that have stepped up and shown themselves to be better. I've been hearing good things about Jalen Graham as well. So, yeah,
Yeah.
Are we going to have to wait a little bit on Nick Martin? Is he going to be kind of like our glorified DFF? Maybe, right? That's his floor. But his ceiling is a guy who we just got to give a little bit more time, because one thing about him that concerns me is he's just, his angles are a little off. He kind of thinks that he's faster than a game speed that he's never played before. And he's making really bad mistakes because of it. So the biggest thing that I feel like Nick has to do is respect game speed, understand angles, and kind of slow himself down, because they're going to use his speed against him every time. Right? We're going to
Yeah.
just see him being olayed all over the place. And it happened yesterday. I saw it a couple of times. He had one good tackle. I tweeted about it. Then the very next tackle, he was on planet Earth. He was on planet Venus. Like, he just got shook out the whole frame. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. But
You're talking about along the right side when they just got in the backfield and was just like, done.
yeah, done. Got it. Got him out of there. So for me,
Yeah.
I just have to see exactly where what he chooses to do. What the good news is that we know exactly what is wrong with him. He's got to work on his pursuit.
Alligator Alcatraz says, "Don't let me catch you playing that Sky Cover 2 on me." Oh, that's funny. Yeah, listen, I'm not trying to say that I'm out on Martin completely. That's,
Mhm.
that's not the case. It's just, it's confirmation bias for, I guess, what I thought on draft night, which was, like the player, it's going to take him some time. Could have had him a round or two later. That's it.
Yeah.
And so that, that's what I thought on draft night, seeing it in one preseason game, not hearing about him, knowing that somebody that I talk to regularly has the practice film and says he doesn't even see him show up.
Mhm.
It's kind of confirmation bias, probably. And I appreciate you for not doing this. You easily could, just so you know. We had it out on the Alfred Collins thing, night 2 of the draft. You could
Mhm.
easily say, "Yeah, see, Jesse, this is what I was talking about." You're taking the high road, which is maybe what I should
I've
do with
grown.
Martin, but I couldn't help myself. Yeah.
I've grown. I've grown. What I said about Alfred Collins is exactly why I was concerned about picking him up, and we see it
Mm-hmm.
now, right?
Yep.
With Nick Martin, everything that we saw in the draft, the things that we paid attention to, we're getting a little bit of confirmation on that. It's not that we're glad to see it happen, but these are the things that we were concerned about. Now, one thing that I will say is that if we were at camp and were able to see this stuff, now that I saw them play once, I can see why they didn't want people at camp. It's clear why
Yeah.
they didn't want people at camp,
Yeah.
because this is a young team. These guys are paying attention to what is being said, and they're not ready. They're not polished. That's another overall sentiment that I got, especially from the offense. They are rusty. They're not polished, right? And we didn't run the ball particularly well. We didn't block as well as we did. We weren't horrible blocking, but we weren't succinct, especially with pass pro, with our swing tackles with Spencer Burford. But you can see that it's going to be a labor of love. This year is not going to be smooth. We're going to have to really work hard this year for every win. I feel like a lot of times this season, we're going to find ourselves like in the fourth quarter, like in striking distance to win, but still kind of looking at ourselves like, are we struggling with the Falcons right now? It's like, yes, we have
Yes.
to win the
Yes, we
game.
are.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are.
And that's kind of the point. That's the theme of the season. And I think one thing that we did learn in this is that the 49ers are going to be in a lot of close games.
It's going to
And
be a rocking season, dude.
I think that is going to be the best thing long term for this team. I never had expectations that they were a Super Bowl winning team this year or a Super Bowl competing team. I
Mhm.
do have expectations that they make the playoffs. Absolutely. One and done. Anything above that would be great. However, the 49ers have front run for so long, they don't know how to win these tight games. And it is evidenced by every time it seems like they're in them, it doesn't go their way in a lot of these scenarios. When in games that it should go their way. So yeah, you can point to a game here, oh, the Packers game. What about Jesse? What about the Packers game in the playoffs? Like, I get that. But there is a lot of games that have been close that have not gone their way. And there is an art to that. You look at the Kansas City Chiefs and it's like, yeah, okay, people nitpicked them to death for the last 2 seasons. The offense isn't scoring enough. They're in these tight games. They're barely squeaking them out. That built the character for that team to be what they were. It got them a Super Bowl. It got them to another one. The 49ers have to build that. Like that is a process that they have to go through, and they have to learn to win close games because a majority of the games are close in the NFL. The 49ers have just been so good for so long that they haven't been in many of those games, but that's going to change. It just is. It's the nature of the league. So this year, by that definition, is going to be one that will either make them in the future with that, or it will break them. And I think it will eventually make them. I think they're going to learn to win these close games. And I think long term, that's the best thing that could happen to them.
God gonna keep giving you the same test till you pass
until you pass it. Yep.
It is what it is, man. It may come in a different form. You may think you got away. You may think you stuffed it under the rug and you can get away with it, but he gonna keep giving you the same test until you pass it. When we were good, we could not learn how to win close games. We didn't know how to close games. When we were at our best, we did not know how to close out games or win close games. Now that we are fighting for basically the regime, right? We're on year, what is this, year 9 or 10? This is year 10? Year 9?
9.
Year 9? Right?
Yep.
Again, we're going to have to learn how to win close games and close them out. It's not going to change. It's going to happen year in and year out until we humble ourselves and understand that we are no better than the process. And in order for us to find our way, we're going to have to find ourselves. We're going to have to use every vestige of this team. We're going to have to use the running back by committee. We're going to have to figure out ways how to air the ball out. We're going to have to be able to give the players a little bit of the offense because we can't be too predictable. We don't have enough talent to be that stubborn and rigid with our process, especially offensively. A lot's going to have to happen for us to make the playoffs this year. We make the playoffs this year, Jesse, that will be so impressive if we make the playoffs this year. That'd be impressive.
I'm not going to be impressed by making the playoffs.
Man?
I'm not going to be impressed by making the playoffs. With that schedule, they better make the playoffs.
Bro, you see all these injuries piling up, bro. Once the season rolls out and we start seeing these teams, man, just the way context rolls games out, you can't honestly say, bro, we got SpongeBob and Squidward at receiver right now.
Okay,
there is nobody at receiver, bro. Like, come on.
You of all people wants to hold Kyle Shanahan the most accountable, and rightfully so. I'm not saying you're wrong for that, but you're already giving this man an out for the season, just so you know.
What's the out? What's the out? Give me the out.
If they don't make the playoffs, what are you going to say? You said it would be impressive if they make the playoffs. So if they don't make the playoffs, it's almost to expectation. So then what? 2 losing seasons in a row, 5 out of 9 seasons. Like, come on, man. No, with this schedule, they have to make the playoffs.
Bro, hold on. So you mean to tell me that if we lose Trent Williams, okay, and are still winning games, or we lose, Nick Bosa or Brock Purdy or Christian McCaffrey, and we're still winning games. Let's say we don't get, like, we have so many contingencies that you were just like taking for granted as if they're just gonna happen. Like, oh yeah, Brandon Ayuk is just gonna come back and he's just gonna be ready. So is Malik Mustafa. He's just gonna come back.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that necessarily. I think that Ayuk's gonna take he's going to play, but I don't think he'll look like himself until next year. But again, the problem is that Kyle, the GM, hurts Kyle, the coach sometimes.
Okay. All right. So I can agree with that.
If Trent Williams goes down, it's like, well, yeah, he's 37 and he gets injured every year. You didn't plan for that in any of the last drafts?
But dog, nobody cares about that shit when the season starts, Jesse.
I know.
That's off-season talk.
All we care about is wins and losses. Right. And if you're not winning for 2 years in a row, that's a problem.
But if we win during the season and we win in spite of losing things, it's like this is what kills me, man. It's like if we're gonna dog them and critique them, that's fine. That's cool. I'm not mad with that. But you gotta give them a path to redemption. You got to give them a way out.
For sure.
You can't just dog them for the sake of dogging them. So my thing is that if we're going to talk about, oh, they need all of these guys just to play, just to put together a season, just to be viable, and then they come into the season and they lose the cornerstones, which are their crutches. Trent Williams is an awesome player, but he is also a crutch mentally, all right, and how this team moves, especially with Kyle, right? CMC is awesome. I love CMC, but he's a crutch, right? We don't have an offense outside of him, and we need to have one. So if we find ways to win without these guys, that shows growth for me because I haven't seen it yet. So if we do make the playoffs without these guys, that's impressive. If you just draw syntax to what we've seen in the past versus if they made the playoffs in a completely different manner, you have to give that a little bit more credit, man, because it breaks from the way they've done it before. You got to give them that.
I do feel like you're moving the goalpost on me mid-argument here.
Okay, how?
Because of course, if all those guys go down, I'm not saying there's no path to where you can't give them any immunity. What I'm saying is the expectation at this moment, because none of the injuries they have are long-term, out for season, whatever. And the guys that we're talking about that are the most important, the Bosas, the Warners, the Trents, the Purdys, the McCaffreys, they're all healthy right now. So, yes, of course, if those guys go down, I'm not saying, hey, we can't give them a reprieve. But in this moment, the guys that are hurt are going to be back and should be back for week 1. The schedule is still the schedule. The expectation is still the expectation. I'm not saying that can't change through injury, but in this moment right now, it's not impressive right now to say, oh, if they make the playoffs, I should be impressed with that. I'm not saying there's not a path to that, but right now it's not impressive. It's just not.
I'm sorry, man.
It's an expectation.
Nah, man. If they make, I'm being 100 right now. If not to say that you're not, but we're playing 5 freaking rookies, man. Like if they make it through the season,
by choice.
That's not normal. What do you mean by choice? Who else is going to play? How? Oh, okay, by choice, right?
Because they didn't have they don't have 40-something million. They don't have 40-something million free or couldn't have drafted
Jesse.
Or re-sign some of their own guys. They didn't have those opportunities. They didn't have those opportunities, right?
Jesse, stop.
Come on,
bro.
Come on.
If these guys go to the playoffs with these rookies, these guys stay healthy, that's impressive. I'm sorry. Like, rookies are still rookies, man. These guys stay healthy. They make it to the playoffs. Even with this season, it shows that, you know what it also shows? It shows that they didn't fuck it up. They actually finished a goal. Like, come on, man. Like, a little bit.
All right, I got to get through these super chats.
Just
Coach is back setting the bar low. Here we go. All right. Nicodemus says, happy things are going better for you, Jesse. Much love. I appreciate you, Nicodemus. Julie, I really wanted to get to this comment and get to the offense. It's not going to happen tonight. I knew this was going to happen. Coach, we don't even have to prepare topics anymore. We just get up here and talk, and it's going to last an hour, and it's going to fly by. Dangerous Dave says, looks like we might be able to stop the run. Maybe.
I love that quote.
I think they're going to be able to stop the run. They're going to be able to stop the run. Though.
I love the maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Nicodemus says, FYI, this is Matt. I knew who it was, by the way. Don't know why it's saying my email name. I figured because the picture is exactly the same. I just didn't want to assume because you know what happens when you assume. CJKO4, $19. Appreciate you, brother. Says Seahawks fan here. How are you guys feeling about week 1? Eamon Worry, Zabel, and Torrey Horton all look like solid rookie contributors. Seahawks will be tough if they can have a top 5 defense and rush attack. I'm feeling less confident today than I did when the schedule came out. When the schedule came out, I said not only are the 49ers winning week 1, but the 49ers are going to sweep the Seahawks. I'm not so confident in that right now. And I've got myself a little hat bet. And it's this, but Sam Darnold's still Sam Darnold. I don't care.
Okay, yeah. All right. But the Seahawks ain't no slouches, dog.
I got you. Yeah, I got you. Matt says Marquise Siegel looks good. He does look really good. We touched on him for sure. Some of these were like 30 minutes ago. So Joseph Ernberg said had withdrawals, not having coaches watch party. It's coming back, man.
It's coming, dog.
Season, but
We're
he's
back.
saying he wanted it during the preseason. That's how much he was looking forward to that. So you might have to break that out this week.
I'm gonna probably do one preseason game just for the old time. I'm gonna do the old watch parties. Yeah,
Do one time for the one time.
One time for the
Deshaun
one time.
says, let's get into the real stuff. Greatest beefs ever: Kobe versus Shaq, Bird versus Magic, Cone versus Lombardi. I don't know if it tops Cone versus Lombardi, man. It's one of my favorites.
It's one for the ages.
Tommy, what's up, Tommy? I don't. It's doing everybody's like email or something. Looks like Trash Tig isn't starting. Thank God. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna start. It's actually kind of interesting what's happened to him. Matt says our 15th ranked quarterback isn't built to come from behind. Some of that's on Kyle, though. To be fair, I don't got time. I would love to, but I really don't.
How do you feel about that, though? Is it accurate? You think it's accurate?
I think everything's accurate until it isn't, right? Like, I genuinely am not going to put a limitation on what he could or couldn't. I think right now in this moment, yes, it's very accurate. There's very few quarterbacks, the elite of the elite, and this is why I think you shouldn't pay them unless they are truly elite, that can put teams on their backs and come from behind. Even then, it's really hard to do, but Coach Shanahan doesn't do him any favors. It's not like Coach Shanahan had this awesome fourth quarter come from behind record before Purdy, and then Purdy's come in and just like wet the bed. That's not how the story is told. So Aussie says, new member. Appreciate you for becoming a member. Joseph is, they aren't making the playoffs, Jesse. Be for real. My expectation is they make the playoffs. I don't care what anybody says.
You're so smug about it, though. Like, why are you
I'm
so
smug about everything, Coach.
you are so like,
what do you mean
about it? Like,
when have I ever not had a point that I just stood by, and then when I get pushed, I get smug about it? That's how I operate.
You're just so matter-of-factly about it. You're just like, they better make the play. Like you're saying it as if they made it, it would be no celebration. You're taking all the fun out of it. Like, they better make the playoffs. If they don't make the playoffs, I'm a wet blanket with this. Horrible.
I get it.
All right, okay.
Totally understood.
All right.
I know who I am. All right, I'm not denying that. Frisco just says the schedule suggests Kyle should be able to coach the team to the playoffs. The reality suggests he can't, making things look dicey. What? He can't. Oh, that he can't I got you. Making things look dicey. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, please.
I'm so here for when it's clear that Coach Saleh is out coaching Kyle. It's going to happen. That is going to happen, bro. That's and when it happens, finally, I'm calling it out. I'm just putting that out there. It's gonna happen, bro.
I know it is. Jason says, great to see one of these live again. I'm so happy that Cover 2's back. I'm here for it. Matt says 10-win season. If not, fire everyone's. Thank you, Matt. Dazza says, Coach, yes, Trent is a crutch, but at this stage, we're going to get GTA 6 before the Niners invest seriously into the O-line. Fair.
I like that.
Megan comes in. I'm starting to recognize these avatars. I guess there's something up where it's like YouTube is putting emails or something. Great to see you as always, Jesse. Can't wait to see you week 1. Let's go Hawks. Can't wait to see you in Hawks colors when Brandon gives you the hat. See, she was there when I made the hat bet live. I'm pretty worried about it, Megan, if I'm being honest. And then Frank Tom Ocean says, shout out to both of you. Thanks for being badass. Well, we appreciate you. Thank you for contributing the way that you do. Coach, that flew by way too fast, brother. I got to get school started out here. It's crazy. I'm used to West Coast. School doesn't start till September. School started, which means I got to get my kids to bed. So it is what it is,
man. Lock them down.
We'll resume next Monday. All right,
hey, man, bro. We are so freaking back, dog. I'm excited, man. I'm ready.
Me too. All right, everybody that contributed, whether through chat, super chat, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Much love. We'll talk soon. Peace.